Alright, the next update happened. So let's do that. Right, we've got another 12 characters, so we're doing 6 each.
Cocked.
God. Okay. Let me just get the thing. Right. So I've got Reporter 1. Tavros Crocker. Jade, oh no. Reporter 2.
Yippee!
Vrissy. And finally, yeah. And Reporter 3. Okay, and it looks like you're doing the rest of them. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Who am I doing?
Let's copy the thing. These.
Harry, Vriska, John, Rose, Kanaya. Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm doing narrative too.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. While Jade and Rose are busy relieving that moment of intolerable anguish and suspense, let's check back with the kids for a moment. Planning their escape is going about as well as you might expect.
We appear to be, in no uncertain terms, completely surrounded. I don't wish to come across as pessimistic, but it's hard to see what possibilities we have for a plan of escape.
To be something we can do. My dad is counting on us to get out of here and meet up with him.
Well, I'm also not wishing to be rude, but it's okay, Tabby. I don't give a shit about being rude. Harry, your dad's plan fucking sucks. There's no easy way out of this. It was simple enough for him to tell us to escape, but we're the ones that have to actually do it. And that advice he gave you, it was all a load of meaningless bullshit. Don't get caught. Yeah, no shit.
Wow, firstly, I know this has been a stressful predicament, but I think that's going too far. My dad believes in us, and if he thinks there's something we can do, then there has to be a way. It's the only possibility.
Okay, how about this for an alternative explanation? Your dad is giddy and high on the thrill of something interesting happening in his life at once.
I don't believe this. I've been waiting for my dad to start talking to me again for what feels like forever. You know what? You know that. And you couldn't just be happy for me this one time.
Oh my god, Harry Anderson, I know you spent so much time crying into your day-night popcorn about this, but please give us a break. Just listen to me for once. This isn't about your hang-ups with your dad, okay? We're in the middle of a war that is, in some part, his fault. And instead of taking responsibility and acting like a grown-up, he decides to rope us all into this insane game he thinks he's playing. Rissy, I don't think that's fair. Uncle John isn't to blame for this.
And no shit, Tab. This whole situation is because of your insane Hitler mom.
Okay, now, that wasn't called for. Yeah, Harry, not cool.
Oh, what? So you're gonna just pretend that his mom isn't a literal dictator? He doesn't need you to stick up from him for see. He's fucking loaded.
Harry, all our families are obscenely wealthy. We're standing in your mum's boutique living room. You can't exactly play a privilege card here. And Tavros, you don't have to defend Mr. Egbert just because you feel weird about him trying to kidnap you that one time. If anything, you should be on my side here. John's clearly got a track record of doing anything for a moment of excitement without thinking of the consequences. And look what happened. Remember what he did on Harry's birthday that one time? I told you that in strictest confidence. Tavros, he could have killed you. Why else do you think you're such a wimpy, traumatized baby? Okay, that isn't the reason for that, and... are you cussing out?
Yes, I am
Nah.
probably.
I feel like your implied concern for my childhood well-being is less sincere than it is an attempt to weaponize something difficult for me in order that you can win an argument with Harry Anderson.
Will you all just shut up?
Ah. Ah.
I feel like I'm going fucking insane. It is Weepy Wriggler Tantrum Tower. Are we the three of you always this pathetic? Nobody answer that. It was a bulgingly rhetorical. Just keep quiet for a moment while I insult some of you more. You're cool and all, but I'm getting tired of this teen nonsense. John's advice totally blows, but at least he understands what he needs to be done. Don't insult my don't insult my friends. Only I get to do that. Tavros, stop being such a wimp. Nobody has time for this pansy clownery. Do you remember what happened the last clown I had to deal with?
Oh,
Yeah, I thought so. And Harry, listen, neither of you or nor your friends have anything really important going on. Your lives and your planets are total bore. Just somehow John loves you anyway. Try and be fucking grateful for what everything for what that not everyone is so lucky. Anyway, forget this advice. John wasn't counting on you to get us out of this. He was counting on me. So for now, everyone just follow my lead and do what I say. And if that doesn't sound like a good enough deal to you, then just stay out of my way. All right. I'm glad you can at least recognize when a grown-up is talking. Go to your room. What? No, you're not my mom. And nobody is more grateful for that fact than me. You need to arm yourself, stupid. None of you even have a way to fight. Oh, here, take this. What is it? It's your stupid face, is what it is. Just kidding. It's a spare strike specimen. Take this and go grab a weapon. Meet us back here in a minute. Oh, what? A minute, God. All right, I'm going. Harry, go grab a weapon. All right, I'm back in my room. There's just one small problem. I don't think I own any weapons. There's their props stored in my closet, but they're all made of foam and plastic. Ugh, this is so hard.
hey dumbass, why are you messaging me from your bedroom? We are literally in the same house. We were just in the same argument.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. The argument, I mean.
It's whatever.
I didn't mean to get so mad at you and Tavros. Well, maybe I did mean to get mad at Tavros, but I still feel bad about it. Everything's just been so stressful today.
Harry, I said it's whatever.
Okay, but I need your help here. Only have a minute. I can't think of anything to assign to my striped specimen. Can't you ask Vriska if she has any ideas?
No, I'm not going to bother her with such a pointless question. Besides, I think she's busy right now. She's also huddled in the corner, muttering to herself.
Maybe she's nervous. Either that or...
I don't think she's nervous, but it reminds me how you sometimes get when you're practicing your lines over and over.
Okay, weird.
Time's ticking, Harry.
Fuck, I'm still all out of ideas.
Ugh, come on, there's bound to be something up there. Anything can be a weapon if you know how to use it.
That's easy for you to say on account of all the actual weapons you have in your room.
Look, Harry, just because I happen to own lots of incredibly deadly armament doesn't mean I can improvise if necessary. It's possible it makes me badass enough to be a member of the rebellion.
Blah, blah.
Anyway, you've got a bunch of sewing stuff in your room, right?
Yeah, feel free to skip the part where you make fun of me for it.
No, dongface, I wasn't going to.
Oh, then I don't understand.
You need a weapon, remember?
Oh!
/roll ×8.
Okay, there's a bunch of sharp things here.
Pity you want one of them, lol.
Oh, har.
So, what are we working with?
It's mostly just pins and needles. I doubt they'll be much good.
Are you kidding? Needles are awesome. They're what my mum uses. She could probably skin you alive with a pair if she wanted.
Well, I don't doubt that, but maybe it's not this type of needle?
Come on, you know you want to.
No, that would be so dumb. These things are way too small. I'd be the world's worst acupuncturist or something. I think I'll just go with this pair of scissors instead.
Boo.
You capsule out your trusty pair of scissors. You've brought many a colorful a character to life with these babies. You're pretty sure you would bring just as many to death with them as well. Scissor kind. Like, okay, there we go.
I knew all along that you had it in you.
So I guess this means I've allocated the stripe specialist with the scissor kind of attrib abstract
Uh,
abstract
scissor kind of stratus.
that word. Hmm. Using this weird vocab stuff feels, well, weird. Me too. I'm not sure why, but it seems as though everything's that about to happen is that much more important now. Or maybe it already was, but I just didn't understand just how important until this moment. Sometimes maybe all you need to bring your feeling home to you is some nonsense sounding words that possibly don't mean anything. This is what we learn in theater.
Sounds fake as shit to me.
Well, yeah. I think it's just a sense, but I have a feeling it's going to be.
What?
Blah, never mind. Lost my train of thought.
Okay, well, it can't be that important, but either way, we don't have any more time for this. Hurry back downstairs. Brisker's waiting.
Everyone, congregate. Congregate. Okay, I think I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be, which isn't really saying very much. How about you guys?
Well, in simple terms, we're fucked. We still don't have a way out, and more reporters are showing up every second. And the moment we step outside, we're targets for the Crocker cops. We must evade them at all costs. They are with some certainty under orders to capture Rissy and also me. And I'm not sure whose punishment is likely to be worse.
How are you holding up, Tavros?
Me? I'm quite well, Harry Anderson. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
However, I must admit, the force of our impending pursuit and potential capture makes my blood run cold.
The more I think about it, the more nervous I feel. I have had strength fight before, but this is ridiculous.
Uh,
Look, Tavros, in case we don't make it out of this, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. All right, are we done here? Forget it. I've been stuck in this room for what feels like a month, and I'm at my fucking limit. I'm out of here.
but,
You can't just.
Vriska, we're trapped. How are we supposed to leave?
You guys are free to do whatever you want, but I'm just going to use the front door.
Excuse me?
Later, bitches. Oh my god.
There she goes. Vriska, wait, I'm coming too.
Fucking Christ.
Join live from a neighborhood in the Carpathian Kingdom where the perpetrators finally decide to show their faces, are alleged to have killed the beloved Salvation figure Gamsi Makara, making his boots jingle forever in paradise. This is awful. Denounced by government sources as a band of violent rebellion extremists, children of Croesus themselves rebellion leaders, outfits could at best be described as only moderately fashionable.
God, oh god, oh god.
Hey, excuse me, Miss Terrorist, care to give a statement? No, don't.
Thought you'd never asked, buddy. You want a statement? Got one right here. Hey, hi humans, what's up? Oh. Hello? God damn it. Sorry. Fucking my mom getting mad at me because I'm recording.
Okay.
Hey, humans, what's up? Got all your fucking news grubs turned out the max because I'm only going to say this once. Do you want to know who I am? My name is Vriska Circuit, and I'm the creator of this world never knew it had. I left my home behind and put a stop to the demon who burned 2 universes for fuel. So that his planet could come into existence. Without me, none of you would even be here. Capiche? Now, you may have heard saying a lot of things about us. They want you to believe that we are violent terrorists who want to destroy your religion and your very way of life, this planet you call home. So I just wanted to take a moment to clarify the situation. You fucking bet we are! I'm done and seen this and seen things that would make every single one of you piss yourselves dead. So I've seen enough, that this planet is fucking disgrace. It's a joke, and not even a very good one. This one is a sad little joke of a word squatting inside of the biggest, lamest joke in the history of existence. I bet nobody here ever knew who I was. Everything I did for you. You didn't need some idiot clown to redeem you. Everything you need was already here because I fucking built it for you. And after all that, I couldn't even have the decency to be boring and nice to each other. So guess what? The carnival is over. I killed the Harlequin son of a bitch. And I hope he burns in clown hell forever. But for the crime of falling for his disgusting lies, your society, oh no, your planet, it deserves to burn. I'm going to be the one to fly it there. I'm gonna shatter your paradise into pieces with my bare hands and shit in its grave. How's that fucking statement? You all got Do you understand what's coming for you? You messed with Vriska fucking Sark. And she has had enough.
Snop.
The song that comes to mind when I see this is Killed by Brick Spider.
Yeah.
Down, 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 down. A whole bunch of things start happening at once. Here are just a few of them. In the blink of an eye, Briska is airborne. She has evidently, and by her own admission, had enough. She reaches out with incredible speed and grabs the microphone that was brandished at her at a moment before. In one smooth motion, she helicopters it around the head by the cord and sends it hurting into the face of the witless journalist who Needle's questions had been so irritating. He sprawls in the driveway. Two rivulets of the red starting to spring from his expertly broken nose. From its hole in the wall of Roxy's house, the bullet that flew over Riska's shoulder, she's with indignant rage, furious to have missed such an easy shot. It is swiftly joined by half a dozen more. The secret police has begun to open fire with a vehemence, if not a great deal of accuracy. Even before the first victim hits the deck, Friska is already winding up a punch to the jaw of the next. She had wedged some sort of signature or cathedral dice between her fingers as makeshift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. As a makeshift knuckle duster. There is a delicately pointed crunching noise when her fists connect. In his hiding place behind a moderately sized garden gnome, Taros Crocker lets out a small, reverential squeal and puts his hand in front of his eyes. Fearing gunfire, the few paparazzi who aren't currently getting their asses handed to them by the world's angriest traffic cone starts to trip over each other, diving for cover. A small fortune's worth of very expensive recording equipment is dropped and promptly shattered to the ground. In the ensuing scuffle, sorry. The intentional loss of such large sum of money causes a substantial drop in the ambient air pressure and conjures up a stiff breeze. Tucked inside a small yet accommodating shrub, Harry Anderson worries that he might be forgetting how to breathe. He takes a series of gasps in and out just to be sure, and he clutches his scissors very tight. The stiff breeze comes in a cheerful 5 on the on the bofal with 4 scale, fresh. Tavros wishes he has chosen the bigger gnome. Bullets continue to fly, so stupidly wide, and Vriska tosses her dice into the air without even looking. In a single beat of her fairy wings, she zips over the nearest car, reaches underneath the front fender, and lifts the fluoride aucklet tumble end over end. And the gunshots seem for a moment co- the coalesce into the sound of thunderous roulette. Vriska is now holding the car end on above her head. Its burglar alarm wailing to process. In a dance-like motion, she spins in space once, twice before losing the vehicle skyward, like an Olympian might hammer. The press are fleeing for their lives, their professionalism and trashed equipment abandoned. As one of the snotty-faced and terrified reporters attempts to hide in a shrub, Harry gives her a conscious jab in the leg with to shaky ball and tries to remember the advice John gave him. Don't panic. The dice land, a booming, wordless voice pronounces. Cannons the eight, uh, cannons the eight, uh,
Grib
Gibro?
Gribby Bell. I actually
That,
since there's not since we rolled it that you'll be doing most of the characters for the rest of this, and there's still another like 10 pages or so. Shall I take over as narrator?
please do.
Okay. The car approaches the apex of its trajectory, and as it slows, it appears to hang in the air in a manner quite uncharacteristic of motor vehicles yet to be fitted with modern technology. It winks coyly in the afternoon sun. Far away in her lair, Jane Crocker grabs the two sides of a computer monitor with enough strength to snap them two. She can't believe what she's watching. Behind her, from a shadowy corner in the room, there is an agitated crowding noise and the rattle of chains. The ground begins to shake as a battery of naval cannons materialize in flashes of cerulean light and drop into formation behind Vriska. She cracks her knuckles one by one with each impact. The vibrations cause Taurus's gnomes to fall over. The enfilade is enfilade whatever. The enfilade is halted without recording a single hit. The secret police, perched strategically in trees behind mailboxes, are now doing a synchronized slowly take off your badass shades and gawk at the sky type routine. The cars seem to regard the laws of gravity as mere suggestion. Don't make a scene. Frisker circuit laughs. The guns roar. To all this and more, Vritty is blissfully ignorant. She doesn't register the tearful and snivelling faces of the hapless journos as they beat a hasty retreat, nor the bruised and bloody faces of ones writhing about on the ground, their purpling eyes and gasping mouths giving them the look of a particularly wronged fish. In the mayhem, she doesn't notice Harry, or Tavros, or even the toppled gnome. All these details and more sail above her head like a home run over an especially stubby shortstop. The only thing that registers to Vritty Marianne Blonde in this moment is a pair of brilliant orange eyes, framed by azure-tinted lashes and cut under with a sharp smirk. The sounds of gun and cannon fire soak half-heartedly into her auricular sponge gloss. The world beneath her is shockingly still, and all the while those eyes seem to burn something deep into her, leaving pitch-black scorch marks in parts of her psyche she didn't even know existed. In all her life, Vritty has never seen anyone look so cool, and it drives her nuts. As a blossoming fireball above wilts into an angry smoky cloud, and flaming bits of X-Gar begin to absolutely pelt down all around her, she feels someone grab her wrist. It's Harry Anderson, wearing an expression of animal panic. His mouth moves to form words she can't hear, but the message gets across all the same. It's time to get the fuck out of here. The Crockright Fuzz has more pressing things to worry about than giving chase. The good fortune keeping the kids safe from the deadly automotive volley does not seem to be contagious, so they flee through the suburbs and into the spindly checkered streets of the central Carapatian kingdom. The four of them tear their way towards a bell tower in the distance. Vriska flies out in front, a pole star the colour of carrot. Immediately behind her is Tavros, whose many years of morning jogs with his father and emotional torment, his mother, has given him a frankly stupid degree of endurance, though you wouldn't think it to look at him. His glasses are beginning to slip and bounce on his slickening nose with every stride. A short way behind him is Vritty, who is hanging back a little. Harry, still clutching her arm, is starting to lag. He has his eyes squeezed shut as he runs, and Vritty thinks she can hear him muttering something to himself over and over between staggered breaths. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. Vritty turns away as a mixture of pity and embarrassment threatens to join the worsting stitch on her side. Nobody gets chased. No one shouts, "Stop those kids," in a commanding voice, or implores some poor taxi driver to step in it. But they dare not slow. Tavros feels as though some dark and sinister shape is lurking just out of sight. It reminds him of the nights at home when he would sprint through tall, imposing trophy rooms and mirror-walled hallways, racing for the miserable safety of his bedroom's glow after turning the kitchen lights off. What he wouldn't give to be back there now. With their old lives quite exploded, he's unsure whether they're running out of danger or into it, the brightness radiating off Vriska has all the safety and compass of a supernova. Vrissy, meanwhile, is considering growing her hair out. After a stomach-churning amount of frantic hightailing, the kids turn a corner, and then a esophageal road vomits them finally out into the central plaza. Compared to the cramped city streets, this wide open space feels agoraphobic, exposed. The bell tower thrusts itself into the clear sky from the other side, all mnemonic and pointing, and its lengthening shadow beckons into safety. Between, in the centre of the large and perfect square, is a familiar Dirkstride memorial statue, standing stoic and still. Surrounding his plinth is a circular fountain, and all around the circumference dozens of knee-high cherubic figures pierce angelically inward. His effects is unreadable. Is it apathy, boredom, contemplation? As the kids hurry past, the shimmering particles shaken from Vriska's wings dance in the polished bronze of his shades, and for a moment his reflected face is suffused with an aura of conspiracy. Nobody pays him the slightest bit of attention. The four stop a while at the tower's base, chests heaving for air. Nobody says anything, they just sort of stand there and ache in each other's companies for a bit. Vriska alights on the ground, rakes her throat, quietly spits out a little wad of blue, and wipes her mouth unceremoniously. Tavros pats Harry Anderson tentatively on the arm. Vrissy tries to be badass and cough up something too, but she doesn't really make it work. Harry simply rests his hands on his knees, doubled over and shaking his head. Tavros looks at Vrissy over Harry's arched back and puffs out his cheeks with wide eyes. She gives him a tired half smile in return. Vriska quietly massages a crick in her neck and rolls first one shoulder, then the other. It's unclear who cracks first, but someone does, and then in an instant all of them are dissolving into a bout of relief giggles. It starts off as a light, bubbly kind of mirth before the sheer enormity of what they've just done sets in, and they progress to fully-on belly laughing. The adrenaline in their blood turns to helium and begins to fizz, and all at once they feel lighter in the air. They survived! They're fugitives! Tavros has to take off his glasses to wipe his eyes. Vrissy laughs so hard she thinks she might be sick. Harry Anderson has to go and be actually sick, which doesn't so much kill the mood as vaguely envelop it in the smell of puke. He has a wobbly grin in his face as he wipes his spittle from his chin though. Vriska shakes her head, getting rid of her smirk like a wet dog would its water, then puts her hands on her hips and huffs loudly up at the tower.
Well, I'm not hauling all the three of you up here.
She walks over to the little oak door set into the bottom of the campanile, whatever. Before she can grab
That
her
word.
hand, I'm pretty sure it's campanile.
That word.
Yeah. Before she can grab her the handle, Tavros pipes up. We won't be able to get in that way. He starts to recount how, ever since the incident, the little oak doors of the helical staircase which runs from the bottom of the tower to the belfry has been securely locked to prevent copycats, he speculates. Vriska gets bored halfway through the explanation though, tries the latch anyway, and is the only one who isn't surprised when the door swings politely open. Everything is coming up circuit. She bows theatrically, gesturing for the others to make their way inside, and then leaps into the air with a beat of her wings.
On top is a clown fucker.
They run like the wind.
John has a crop top.
Yeah. Yeah.
You made it. You know you had it in you. I knew you had it in you.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Of course we made it, John. It was a walk. It was like a walk in the park. I had some of the best moves planned out. Gave them the speech of the fucking lifetime, and then they all just ran away without even trying to fight back properly. Frankly, I'm a little induced by just how
Insulted.
easy it was.
Insulted, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Frankly, I'm a little insulted by just how easy it was. But you must have known it would be a piece of grub cake. After all, we had me here.
Oh, Vriska. It's nice that you're basically the same exact person you always been.
You're welcome.
Honestly, I'm still a little bewildered by how you being here. But I guess I'm happy to see you anyway. Especially in the context that doesn't involve any amount of kissing a clouch.
Not right now, you fuckhead.
Oh crap, sorry. Anyway, thanks for helping out, I guess. Kissing a ouch. Okay, I got it. Okay. Anyway, thanks for helping out, I guess. I can take it from here. From here, though.
Be my guest.
Okay. Hmm.
Hmm.
If you don't mind, Vriska,
Hmm?
I'd like to talk to my son, please.
Oh, right, sure. Don't let me get in your way. I'll just be over here, basking in the knowledge of a job well done and plotting act of violence. Thanks. No, respectable distance. This second. I hate to bleed over touching reunion.
Sorry about the hair, Anderson. Where were we? Oh, right, your escape. I guess I already said, but I knew you had it in you. Yeah, I guess so. I realized that it was a lot to handle, though. You can say that again. It wasn't until after I hung up that I even remembered that I hadn't that had give you that stripe specialist for your 16th birthday. Oh, it's okay. Riska had a spare. I put my sewing scissors on it. It was all I really had at the time. That sounds familiar. I kind of stubbed ass backward into getting stuck with my first hammer. But after a while, I couldn't imagine having picked anything else. I'm sure you'll do something amazing with it. You already did, in fact. I'm sure Jane is feeling really but hurt about things this very minute. The prankster's gambit is tipped back in our favor, that's for sure. Yeah, if it's all right, Dad, I don't really want to talk about it at all that much right now. You're right, it was kind of a lot to go through. That's okay. We don't have to talk about that if you don't want. Honestly, who cares about Strife Specify or Prankster's Gambit or whatever? That's not what's important. I'm just glad to know that you're safe. Dad? Yes, son? Can I ask you a question? Anything, son. Okay, cool. So, how come you're wearing that thing? You know, the windsock. I thought it was busy getting eaten by moths in the museum or something. Please don't tell me you broke in. Please don't tell me you broke in there just to get it back. Oh, that got to your outfit. Don't worry, I can just sort of manifest this whenever I want. Although, not that now that you mention it, the guys in the museum will probably be wondering where it went. Or maybe it's still there. To be honest, I have no idea whether this is the same outfit. I don't think it follows the same laws of physics and stuff that normal clothing does. They're just your basic magic pajamas at the end of the day. And didn't occur to you that magic them any bigger? You just look like, well, a grown adult wearing clothes for a kid. Kind of embarrassing to look at. Ah, you're right. I admit I didn't give a whole lot of thought. It just felt like the right thing to do to put on at the time. I'm pretty sure no such time had ever existed. I don't believe this. What have I ever done to you? What have I ever done to deserve such cruelty from my own son? Lamau. I guess you're right, though. This whole thing is pretty uncomfortable in a lot of ways. Well, when we get a moment, maybe the two of us could brainstorm a redesign. No pressure, though. I have a think about it. Anyway, in the meantime, I need to go have a quick word with the mother Vriska.
Rissy.
Oh, right, Rissy. Sorry. Hello there. I guess you were listening to all that.
Not really. I just have a sense of hearing that's particularly attuned to the sound of other people talking about me. Or, well, I did until recently.
I bet it's been a bit strange having the original Vriska around. I will say that it's very confusing having both of you in the same place at once. Oh man, now that I think about it, Dad, it feels the perfect occasion for some identical twin type shenanigans. Like in the Parent Trap or something. I'm not sure how either of you would feel about being played by Lindsay Lohan. Lohan, though. Oh my god, kill me now. But anyway, Prissy, your mom called me a while ago. They sounded very worried that you weren't answering your phone.
Obviously, I was busy.
Well, anyway, they're on their way here. Jade is coming too. They should arrive any minute.
Oh, you're kidding. Here they come now. I can see them over there. Ah. Whoosh.
Whoosh, me and the boys in creative mode.
Apart from Kanaya.
Yeah,
Oh,
apart from
yeah.
Kanaya. Alright, hold on, I'm just looking at okay.
I'm
Hey guys. Um Hey guys. Rose, it's so good to see you. Even though I guess we saw each other not even a day ago. Yes. Hello, John. It's good to see you too. Oh wow. That has to be the smallest number of words you've ever greeted me with. And Jade, it's been too long. I'm glad you're here.
Hi, John. Me too.
I knew you were involved with the Troll Rebellion as well, but I didn't think you turned up looking quite so cool. I think the camo really suits you. Jade, is everything okay? You seem a little out of it.
Oh, I'm fine, John. Everything is fine. It's just, Rose, a little help here.
I think what Jade is trying to say that you stay within your clothes and topics of outfit for the moment. The two of us are currently experiencing a sudden bout of speechless that is not entirely unrelated to the present state of yours, which to say, the pajamas. Ah, I've heard of suns out, thumbs up. This is a little extreme. Anyone would think you then there's a war on. Not to be rude, of course. No, it's all right, Rose. I've already heard the same thing from Harry Anderson. In fact, if anyone else would like to criticize the clothes, now's your chance. Please feel free to form an orderly queue right here. Kanaya, I'm sure you've got something to say about it, right? Kanaya?
I just leaves off screen.
I don't do not mind me, John. I am simply making quite sure that my daughter over here is all right and not causing any more trouble and than I am certain she already has.
Yes.
And not the good kind of trouble which involves active misbehavior towards figure and structures of intense corruption or ma- maleficence, such as the kind of trouble we are in presently and will continue to be in a while our cause remains true. Meanwhile, I trust my wife, whom I love utterly, to make known to you evidently that is happening at the present moment, without tactical um, uh, omission, in a matter that is comprehensive and unex unexpur uh, pergr- unexpurganted.
Sure.
Whatever that word. Haha. All right then. So what's up, Rose? That does seem to be the question, doesn't it? The situation is difficult to describe. I'm sure it's not all that bad. I mean, sure, I guess we are in a bit of a complicated mess, especially ever since Vriska showed up, killed Gamzee, and declared herself with the rest of us terrorists or something. You're welcome. But it's nothing we shouldn't be able to think right out of now that we are all together, right?
John, there's something I need to tell you. There's no point in hiding it anymore. Jade's words, spoken in nothing more than a dramatic whisper, nevertheless seemed to echo in John's ears. Her face is somehow in shadow despite the sunny day, and John swears there's even an unexpected chill in the air. He feels a nervous prickling sensation crawl its way up his spine. The windmills in John's brain slowly start to creak into motion. It must be something big, something really big, something so big that his sister would come all the way here to tell him in person, abandoning her scouting mission in the middle of an armed conflict to do so. As well as her husband, John realizes with a start, as Dave's curious absence finally brings itself to his attention. Hot on the heels of that realization is another, and another, and then another. Jade's mouth moves without a sound now, the wind that only exists in John's head is drowning out everything she's saying, as it whips itself up into a gale, and its mind races frantically towards a conclusion. All at once he reaches the eye of the storm, and then, from somewhere out of a half-remembered dream, comes a sensation of falling. A burning golden city, a girl screaming. There is only one thing that Jade Hardy has ever valued so highly above everything else, even her own life. Family.
Jade, are you pregnant?
Jade finally looks up at him. Her face is wide-eyed and angry. What? No, Jane, I'm not fucking pregnant.
Oh,
Putting aside the fact that that's completely impossible for a whole bunch of different reasons, why should we even say that? Weren't you listening to what I was saying?
I was.
Now I had to start all over again. John, I have a daughter. She's almost Harry Anderson's age.
You have a daughter?
Yes?
You've had a daughter.
Yes, John.
Wow. I'm a little shocked about this. I mean, you have a daughter?
Yes, John, I have a daughter. I have a daughter, John. In fact, I've had a daughter for quite a while.
I'm struggling to process this a little bit. If she's nearly Andy Harrison's Andy what?
Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson.
Andy Henderson. Harry Anderson's age, then that means you've had a daughter for what? I guess that must have been about 15 years.
Yep.
Wow. I'm not sure how I feel about this, G.
John, I have
Okay.
had a daughter for 15 years and I didn't tell you about it, so I am so very sorry if that hurt your oh so precious feelings. It is deathly quiet. You, of all people, don't get to judge me, okay? Everyone was getting married and having babies at the time, and I wanted that for myself so badly. You have no idea what it was like living on that fucking island with my dead grandfather, waiting for forever for you to finally wake up, and then I went through all that nonsense all over again on the ship through the yard. And then when it was over, I thought maybe I could have something like a normal life, but then you just vanished on everyone for years. Everyone was really building their lives we'd all been working for. Rose and Kanaya, Roxy and Callie, Jake, and Dave and Carcat were. Look, I knew, okay? I knew this on some level they just didn't want me there. I knew the plans they had for each other even when they didn't. And it was clear that I just didn't business those plans, but they wouldn't admit it. I tried so hard to get them to see what they wanted, but it just didn't work. And then Carcat left, and I couldn't leave Dave by himself after what happened to Dirk. So I stayed. I tried to be the good person and stay, but he...
Jade, Jade, it's all right. I can take it from here.
Jade leaned soggily into Rose's shoulder.
Jade, I'm sorry. John, if you start crying as well, we shall never get anywhere. Right. Sorry. I'm sorry. I got a bit lost. All of that. Could we rewind a little? I think that might be the best. Narratively speaking, you got a touch sidetracked.
She gives Jade a gentle pat on the back as she says this.
So, to rewind, Jade wanted a child of her own, but while she was with Dave and Carcat, the three of them were unable to conceive one due to a number of reasons. They looked into adoption, but, well, let's just say that if the administration was getting uncomfortable about the adoption between a troll and a human, they were starting to be outright obstructionists.
Obstructionists, yeah.
Yep. When it came to the between a troll and a two. Having exhausted all other options for producing or for fostering a child between the three of them, Jade had to look elsewhere. You mean find a surrogate or something? Correct. It was at this point that Jade came to me. It would understand her pain quite actually, and so acutely. Sorry. I agreed to carry a child on her behalf without telling Kanaya.
There was another heavy silence. Felicity is stunned, all 8 pupils staring at her mother in shock. Harry and Tyros are trying to find someone that isn't at Rose. Vriska, meanwhile, is sporting a grin as wide as a bus, and she looks like she wants to give someone a high five. Jade is a picture of misery. Kanaya doesn't seem to be surprised or angry or even disappointed. She just folds her arms, expectantly. John is discovering that he can't decide what to do with his hands. He feels possibly embarrassed.
I'm not sure why I made that decision. I regret not telling Kanaya, of course, but I can't say that I regret going through with it. At the time, it didn't feel as though the deception was ever all that prolonged, whatever.
Prolonged, yeah.
The whole affair was short, purely physical, and nothing more.
Kanaya finally moves the sun next to her wife. She places a softly glowing hand on the shoulder that hasn't been generously watered by Jade.
Rose, I have already discussed this in private before coming here, and I have therefore already said everything that I would like to say on the matter. And vis-a-vis the matter, I think that really all that there's to say. I wanted to be able to tell Frissy this in person. However, moreover of the benefit and for that of everyone else, I feel in my capacity as a mother and leader, I should make it clear. This is not something that will undermine Rose's and my relationship. Oh, they fixed it. Oh, the cowards.
What? What?
Because the and didn't have the capital A at the beginning, and everyone kept pointing it out. They fixed it.
Oh.
This was a meme for like the past 2 days.
The cow. Yeah.
Yeah. Neither as comrades or as a couple. I am upset at being lied and for no reason. And in particular, I would like to make it understood that I do not and never will see Jade as having jeopardized our marriage through the simple crime of wanting to be a mother. If anyone in this world understands the lengths to which a person will go to achieve such an end, then that person is me.
As she says this, Kanaya looks at Rissy, and it's a look all filled to bursting with 2 universes and countless lifetimes worth of love and maternal devotion. To all observers, Rissy is either on the verge of bursting into tears or gagging. It really could go either way.
Just to get this straight in my head, Rose, if you're the mother, then since obviously neither Dave or Karkat is the father, who is it?
Rose's expression has a patience and tranquility of a mountain. Jade's is made of knives.
And there isn't a father. Jade and I are the sole parents of this child. Oh. Oh! I'm so sorry. I didn't. That's quite all right, John. Although I direct that apology more towards yourself. And I will say that, that if you would like to care to take up the particulars, thus some other.
Here, Rose looks pointedly at the various scenes dotted about the belfry, all of whom are remarkably interested in local architecture all of a sudden.
I'm sure Jade and I can walk through some basic concepts. No, I'm about to change the subject. Okay. So, how did you hide your pregnancy? Oh, it was simple. Jade's genes being as they are part canine, the gestation period was substantially reduced. I carried the baby to term in just under 2 months. Since she was unfamiliar with human pregnancy at the time, I assumed Kanaya simply thought I was looking a bit more substantial than usual, and didn't think it polite to comment. In defense of my observational skills, I feel like I should point out that you had recently recovered miraculously from a debilitating and potentially fatal illness, a state in which you were exceptionally malnourished, to say the least. Well, quite.
So we're going to make a big
Anyway,
deal about the fact that Rose cuts Kanaya, and not about the fact that Kanaya thinks Rose is obese.
I didn't think about that.
Anyway.
Well, with the finished, all that matter of Jade and I raising the child together in secret for 15 years, a task that we performed flawlessly until a few short moments ago, and she became the political prisoner of a certain Jane Crocker. Oh my god, that no offense, Jane, but that bitch. So this finally is predicament that we are presently faced with. Jane has taken Yiffy hostage in retaliation for our sudden kidnapping of her son and the murder of her former favorite clown. The fact that only one of these things actually happened and that the rebellion is responsible for neither of them will not matter to her in the slightest. The woman means murder. Christ, okay, I think I understand everything, so F.
Wait, you mean to tell me not only do I have a sister, but you name your secret child Yiffy? Vriska quietly settles on herself as a hi-fi partner. With genealogical slowness, Rose turns to face her one recently named daughter, a tinge of embarrassment colouring her face for the first time this afternoon.
Well, no, we didn't call her Yiffy. That would be quite ridiculous thing in which we burn a child. Her full name is Yiffy and Longstocking. Harley.
Yiffy, Longstocking, and
Yeah,
Harley.
that ain't ridiculous in your opinion, ain't it?
Vrissy looks as though she was about to shit the bell tower they're standing in, brick by brick.
It was, in hindsight, a monumentally terrible decision, acting as the final chapter in a long series of novels, each one full progressively more terrible decision than the last. But that is the name we decided upon. You have to understand, the whole situation ended up playing out a bit like an ironic game of chicken between the two of us. Something that far outstried anything that the Strider fraternity could have produced in their wildest, most JPEG'd creative wet dream.
Something that far outstrided anything that the Striper pretend.
But in the end, that triumph of irony came back to bite us in the fucking ass, as irony it won't do that. It is wont to do. There was absolutely no possibility of us casually letting you all to know that, by the way, we had a secret daughter named Yiffy in Longstocking. At least, not right away, but carapacian change of a name paperwork, it's so complex, and Circus just that eventually keeping quiet forever just seemed like more reasonable option.
Everyone lapses into a third meaningful silence, one which has an air of finality about it, as they collectively contemplate the here that they are. And they have plans to make. Even now, Yiffy is likely being held at Spoon Point, subject to the mercies of a power-crazed tyrant in pagliaccial mourning. The war for the plan is only just getting started, and the worst is still likely still to come. And yet, when Rose slowly wipes a single tear from her eye and leans to touch foreheads with Kanaya, John suspects that the whole thing might have just brought them all closer together. Beside him, Harry Anderson stifles a sleepy yawn. The day which once threatens never to end is now fading from the world. As the sky above starts a purple, the heaviness of the events hanging over them dissolves in the warmth of the evening sun, and a refreshing current of air seems to blow the last traces of it away like the merest dust. It's only late that night, in a mess hall on board the Rebellion ship, that John absent-mindedly turns to Jade and asks,
So, where's Dave?